In this episode, IMSA at Belle Isle, the upcoming 24 Hours of Le Mans, and a bunch of new LMDHs have been revealed. Welcome to episode 75 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up?
75. This is a special one. You know why?
Why?
This weekend, Le Mans.
Yes.
But before we get there, let's talk about what happened last weekend.
Okay.
IMSA was at Detroit. IndyCar was actually there too, but I want to talk about IMSA more than IndyCar.
Yes.
IMSA was at Detroit in Belle Isle. Do you know where that track is?
It's in Detroit.
It is. Detroit kind of goes right up against the edge of Canada.
Yep.
And there's an island in the middle of the river that split Canada and Detroit. And Belle Isle, the racetrack, is right there on the island. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool.
It's a really cool venue.
It is kind of a cool
like
venue.
Where it's at, it's cool.
Yeah.
You're like directly between two countries.
Right. But I have some sad news.
Uh-oh.
This is the last one at this venue. There will be no more races at this venue.
Why?
As far as I understand it, they're moving to the streets, the downtown streets, next year of Detroit. Yeah, kind of interesting. But I do wish that they kept on racing here, because this is kind of a street circuit, but it has the concrete walls, right, in the concrete circuit that feels like a street circuit, but you're in a big park. So it kind of reminds me of like the streets that we have here in St. Pete when IndyCar runs at St. Pete.
Yep.
They run down an airport runway and then they kind of run through a park. They weave through a park.
You want to know what it reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of if you could combine like our local Indy Grand Prix, the St. Pete Grand Prix, and the Canadian Grand Prix in F1. Because the Canadian Grand Prix is on an island just like this, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
That's right.
And it has a similar scenery.
It does. It does.
So if you put like the street circuit here at St. Pete and the Canadian Grand Prix together, you have Belle Isle.
Indeed you do. So this race overall, there was only two classes there. There was only DPI and GTD.
Big field.
Yeah, they tend to do this at the street circuits. I think that Long Beach doesn't have all the classes either, and it's also removing the expenses from the other classes for the guys having to travel around. So this race was entertaining, but not super entertaining. The team that took pole won the race, though they didn't clean win the race. They didn't just go straight through to win. There was some shenanigans. There was actually a really good battle between, I think, the 02 and the 10, which was kind of interesting to watch. Cadillac versus Acura. But long story short, the 01 took pole, the 01 won the race, and that's Cadillac winning at home, right, back in Detroit.
Yep, good for them.
Good for the brand. They really wanted it bad, and they did get the W, which was great. In GTD, the Lexus, took the win, the number 17.
Lexus.
Right. And I believe that it's Sebring, one of the Lexuses was in GTD, and the other Lexus was in, what's the top? The
GTD Pro.
GTD Pro. In this race, they brought the GTD Pro car into GTD.
Huh?
Yeah. Huh. I don't know how they did it so easily, but I think they just tuned things on the computer and brought it down a class. Kind of weird.
Interesting.
Kind of weird. I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
Me neither.
But they did. They did take the win, and overall, okay race, but I'm sad to see this go. I am curious to see if next year's event is going to be as much of a mess that the Nashville Grand Prix was.
That Nashville Grand Prix. It's exciting that it goes to Nashville, but oh my God.
It was a mess. IndyCar also came here, and I think the Chevy took the win. So
at home.
That's good for them. Yeah.
Yep, good for them.
It's a cool tradition that you jump in the fountain after you get the win at Belle Isle. So, yeah. That is IMSA.
Okay.
Let's move on to what actually matters this weekend, which is the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Yes, separating Le Mans from Le Boys. I
Indeed.
will never not say that.
You have to say it every time, don't you?
I do, yes.
Every single time.
I do.
So I was working today, and in the background, I turned on the Radio Le Mans broadcast because they were doing practice and qualifying. And it is fantastic to listen to the John Hindhaugh and the boys just talk with race engines in the background, and they're in France. It's magic.
Yeah.
It is magic.
Yep.
Cool thing, these cars are the same exact cars that we saw at the 12 Hours of Sebring. They were doing the 1,000 miles of Sebring, which got rained out at the end, but still great to see these cars on track. And when I started pulling up the photos here of seeing the cars, I'm like, wow, it's the same exact cars.
Kind of cool, isn't it?
They haven't changed.
They are those cars.
Yes, they are. And now they're in France.
And the Toyota's not on its roof.
That happened. So pace-wise, going into this event, as far as I understand it, Toyota has a slight edge. There are only 5 cars in the hypercar class, which is different than Sebring. There were 4 cars in the hypercar class. We have added one more Glickenhaus, which is good to see. I'm a fan of the Glickenhaus.
Me too.
So that puts 2 Toyotas, 1 Alpine, 2 Glickenhauses in the top class. When I was looking at the timing and scoring, I noticed that in the first practice, the Alpine was actually a couple cars behind in the timing from LMP2 cars, which means P2 cars are quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't expect the Alpine to be a couple cars behind some P2s.
There were, I believe, 3 cars ahead of them after the first practice.
Oof.
Only by about 2 seconds. But at Le Mans,
that's big.
It's kind of big, but a lap time at Le Mans is 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the top cars. So it's not that big, right?
But it's big enough to be 2 different classes in the slower class ahead of the faster class.
It's big enough to mean traffic, is what I think it's big enough to mean.
Yeah.
I believe that there was traffic involved, which is Le Mans. That's normal.
Yep.
This race is shaping up to be a pretty good one. Okay. I believe that Toyota will not be able to just pull away in this race.
Good.
Because
that's what they did the past bunch of years.
Yeah.
They just hook in and they just pull away until it's gone.
Right. Which, in our opinions, is boring to watch. In everyone's opinion, is boring to watch.
It's like, who wants to watch that?
Right. You want to see a race to the end. I would love to see one of the Toyotas have an incident pretty early in the race and watch them try to run back while the other one battles it out for the lead. Don't know if that'll happen, but I can hope.
It would be cool.
And qualifying kind of happened today. The first part of qualifying happened today. Today is Wednesday, by the way, the 8th.
And
so
when you're listening to this, it'll be Friday the 10th.
Probably. So qualifying will be done by then. But the way that they're doing qualifying is kind of interesting. I don't think that they've ever done this at Le Mans before. They're doing a hyperpole, which they're going to have, they had today, a 1-hour session where the top 6 cars in your class would move on to hyperpole. The rest, the field is set for those all under 6th in their class.
But wait a minute. How many cars are in hypercar?
5.
So hold on. Let me do some math here. Let's see. Carry the 1. That means it's 1 less than the whole hyperpole.
The top 6 cars move on. There's only 5 in the class. So they essentially had another free practice. They were all guaranteed to move on. Yeah. So we don't really know what's going to happen pole-wise for the top class.
The most pointless hyperpole ever for the top class.
You're not wrong. But we can talk about the GT classes because those have more cars than 6. And in GT Pro, there were 2 Ferraris, 2 Corvettes, and 2 Porsches that moved on.
That's all they have.
I don't know exactly, but I think it's something similar to that.
I think it's the same kind of thing with the hypercar. Let me quickly pull something up here because I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 cars in
who missed?
GTE Pro. There's a Ferrari, the Riley Motorsports.
That's the Ferrari that missed. Okay.
Yep.
That's okay.
It looks like the only factory Ferrari team.
And then in GTE AM, there was an AF Corsa, which is Ferrari. There's Kessel Racing, which I don't...
Is it Ferrari?
Is it a Ferrari?
Mm-hmm.
And then AF Corsa again, another Ferrari.
Yep.
Dempsey Proton, Porsche.
Yep.
Iron Dames, which I believe is a Ferrari.
Iron Dames?
Yeah. The number 85. And then the Northwest AMR, which I believe is an Aston.
Oh, the Iron Dames, that's the pink one.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's the pink Ferrari.
So we have a bunch of Ferraris, one Porsche, and one Aston, it looks like.
So as a Porsche fan, I am prepared to get bent.
It's going to happen. It's Le Mans. They never do well.
Not never.
Not never, but the past couple of years, it hasn't been good for Porsche.
It's been horrible.
It hasn't been good. Yeah. I am still looking forward to this race a lot.
Oh my God, yeah.
There's something about Le Mans, something about the mystique, the track, the high speed,
the fans,
the
2 weeks leading up to it, because it's they essentially turn this entire town into just a race town for 2 weeks.
Yes, they do.
The parades, the everything,
and it's fantastic.
I'd love to go to the parades and stuff. I think that would be so cool.
Like we said when we were talking about the Nürburgring 24, it's the Nürburgring 24 and Le Mans.
Yep.
Those are Spa 12 or 24 hours kind of in there, but that's a GT3 only event.
Yeah.
And it's not technically, it has two classes, but the BOP balance is the same for everyone. So it's an AM and a Pro class, and it's just driver skill. I think that this, and they were debating this on the Radio Le Mans broadcast. They said, what are the top 3 races around the world? Endurance races right now.
24 is Le Mans.
Okay.
Nürburgring 24.
Okay.
And
this is the question mark.
Ooh.
They had no problem putting those 2 in their list. This is the question mark.
To me, it's between Sebring and Daytona.
Is it? It's not Spa.
Because just like you said, it's just pretty much GT3 class.
Could you argue Petit?
See, now you're throwing that in there. Could you argue Bathurst?
Yeah, they heavily
Could you
Bathurst.
argue, what is it in Japan?
In Japan.
Don't they have a 6-hour race?
They have the Fuji 6 hours, but it's the WEC cars. That's whatever.
I see the top 3. Obviously, Le Mans, Nürburgring, but the third one to me is between 3: Sebring, Daytona, and
Bathurst.
Yeah, those are the 3 that come down to the last one.
Right. I can't choose between those 3. I've been to 2 of the 3, and Daytona's cool in its own way, Sebring's cool in its own way, but Bathurst is just
wild.
But is Sebring more wild than Bathurst? There's a debate to be had.
There's a big debate there.
There's
One's
a big
built
debate
on World War II airstrips.
Mm-hmm.
One's the legendary 24 hours, the Daytona 24 Rolex, right? I don't know.
I'm with you.
I don't know.
So Le Mans will start, I believe it's this weekend on Saturday.
Okay.
Not exactly sure the time. I don't know the exact time off the top of my head. But usually it's 9 a.m. Eastern, somewhere around there. 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you get a chance, watch, because you cannot go wrong with that.
9:30 a.m.
Okay.
Eastern.
That sounds about right. You want to move on?
Yeah, because I just want to watch the race now.
I do too.
What else you got?
Let's move on to a couple of GTP, LMDh, whatever you want to call them, hypercar.
Okay.
Yeah, those.
The top class.
Top class of endurance racing next year. Let's
Okay.
move on to those. Because there's been some stuff that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Acura has released their car?
I mean,
but kind of.
I kind of saw it.
Yeah, kind of.
Because it's kind of just camouflaged.
They released some camo photos of it.
And I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look a whole lot different than their current DPI.
Looks exactly the same.
I mean,
nearly identical. Even with the camo,
the camo, we've seen enough of the DPI that just looks like the DPI.
It's a little more chunky on the side, but not enough.
It's got that same front wing.
Yep.
And it just looks like the DPI.
Yep. The only other news that was released says that Acura will partner with Wayne Taylor Racing and Myers Shank Racing to race in 2023. Okay. And they're calling it the Acura ARX 06. We don't know about engine. We suspect that it's going to be the same engine that they're running already and have a hybrid system that's homologated by the FIA, and that'll be that. At least it's another car and another manufacturer in.
Yep.
I'm happy with that.
We're moving on with it. I'm happy with.
I'm totally happy with that.
Yep. I'm stoked.
Another note, there will be Cadillac releasing tomorrow, which is June 9th. We're recording on the 8th here. They will be releasing their car. So look out for social.
By the time you've listened to this, Cadillac will have already released. So comment on this video or shoot us a message on social if you're listening on audio or video. Let us know your thoughts on the Cadillac or even the Acura.
Yep. I don't think the Acura was too controversial. It was kind of just standard.
Just exactly what it already is.
As is, no problems here. That is what it is. Let's get into something that's a little more controversial. BMW has released their hypercar.
Ah, yes, the greatest designers in the world.
That's what they are. And they continue to be just that.
Oh, my God.
So, BMW came out with their car. They called it the BMW M Hybrid V8.
Wow. Wow. The M Hybrid V8. You got to have that ad noise there.
Where's my amethyst gold
that
shiny
would be
something?
Great. Painted in amethyst with gold wheels. Yes.
Dude, call it that. Call it something interesting.
The BMW Midnight Amethyst.
Sure. That sounds great. Instead of BMW M Hybrid V8.
Yes.
I get it's a hybrid. I get it's a V8. I get it's a BMW. We know all this. We don't need to be told this. We need to come up with a good name. I don't know if the Acura ARX 06 is any better, but...
No, but it's not just saying what it is. Wow, this floor is sure made of floor, isn't it? Wow.
If we made car, we would say engine and four wheels.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
BMW's brilliant.
Let's talk about the looks.
No.
Come on.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about the looks.
They painted this in a... Ooh. BMW does their art cars. Have you seen their art cars?
Yeah.
Is this trying to be an art car?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
No. But to me, it's not artsy enough to be an art car. I like the livery.
I do too.
I think it's great. The livery looks awesome.
Explain the livery to people.
Okay. It's the M colors, so like the light blue, the dark blue, and the red, and the white, and all that, right? And it's kind of like M colors that's like splotted.
From what I've seen and what I've read, they splotted different patterns in there. Like there is the layout of Daytona and like the BMW 50th anniversary emblem in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. From a distance, I can't see any of it.
No.
It just looks like
this splotted M colors.
Threw a paintbrush at the car or dumped paint on the car in weird ways.
And they dumped paint in an artistic way.
Yeah.
Ah, that's the 50th anniversary badge. I see it right there on the nose.
Mm-hmm. It's not terrible. It's not great.
I don't mind the livery. I actually kind of like it.
I'm not opposed to it. What I am opposed to is the front of the vehicle.
Wow, look at that thing. Whoa.
It's big.
Careful. It's just going to... What it's going to do is it's not going to overtake people. It's going to hoover them. It's just going to inhale the car in front of you in that nostril.
So they took the iconic BMW kidney and hit the up arrow like 20 times.
And the side arrow.
Yeah.
All of it.
And then shoved it into the front of the car.
The entire car is just kidney grill.
It really is.
Your front bumper, you have a headlight, kidney grill, more kidney grill, a little pause, a lot more kidney grill, even more kidney grill, and then a headlight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the front.
It's eating a lot of air.
It's
eating a lot of air. It looks like it's eating fish.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what does it look like? What kind of creature is the new BMW M Hybrid V8?
Like a manta ray.
It's a manta ray.
It is just nomming.
Does
down.
it not look like a manta ray?
I see it.
Literally, the very first thing when I saw a picture of the dead-on front, I just went, oh my God. It's a manta ray. It looks just like a manta ray. Look at the freaking thing.
I'm with you. I will say it sticks to the brand. The brand colors come through. I think it's a good move for BMW to make this car.
Well,
I don't think it's bad for them.
No.
I don't think it looks great, and I don't think a lot of people are going to think it looks great. But if that's what the brand is, then they're sticking to it, and good on them for doing that.
They've committed to the big grills.
Yes.
Yes,
they have.
We are full send here, boys, with the big grills. We are not kind of going to test the waters. We are jumping in head first.
Yes. So we do have some engine news to talk about here.
Okay.
A quote from the article. The car is powered by a twin-turbo flat-plane V8 built on the architecture previously used in DTM from 2012 to 2018. That's cool.
So it's got a DTM-derived engine.
Yeah. They're
That's
taking
cool.
in heritage from DTM, which Google DTM if you don't know what it is. It's like German's version of NASCAR.
Kinda. Yeah.
Kinda.
It's cool. With a lot of aero.
Right. Well, that was the old
aero.
one.
Yeah.
The old version of DTM had all that crazy aero.
Yep.
Their new one is just GT3. Everyone's going GT3.
Correct.
And it's paired with a hybrid system that is essentially the LMDh rule set, which will combine to make around 700 horsepower. But the horsepower number is kind of irrelevant because it's going to get BOP'd anyway. You can make a bazillion horsepower, but they're going to tone you back to where you're even to race with everybody. Doesn't really matter. And then BMW has announced that the M Hybrid V8, God, that's terrible, will be campaigned by Rahal Letterman Lanigan in 2023 in IMSA. No plans have been announced in Europe yet, which means while the hybrid V8 M yada yada is eligible to fight for the overall win at Le Mans, it's not yet officially planned to compete. Huh.
Interesting.
So they have an IMSA team that's willing to run it. They don't have a WEC team that's willing to run it.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. But let's think. Are there any BMWs in WEC?
That's where I was about to go.
No.
There's not a single BMW in WEC.
No, there's not.
Maybe they have a little sign that says, your grill must be this small to ride the ride.
No, you're not allowed in BMW.
Yeah.
Interesting. I suspect that they're looking for teams.
They're shopping.
I bet you they're shopping right now. And I really hope either the brand creates a team or they partner with a team.
Like a factory team or something.
Yeah, I don't know who it will be. But I hope maybe Rahal Letterman Lanigan will jump into the WEC. Should be the same car, in theory.
Yeah.
We'll see. But very interesting that we have no Le Mans entry yet listed for this car.
We're going to find out. Well,
I
guess
hope it happens.
The saying goes, we'll see how the cookie crumbles, right?
We'll see how the manta ray feeds.
Yes. Oh, those goddamn BMWs.
That's what they do, man.
All right,
I think that wraps up this episode.
All right, sweet. So thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, leave us a thumbs up and a comment. Let us know what you think about the new BMW M Hybrid V8 and who you think should campaign it in the WEC. If you're listening on audio only, so you know your Apples, your Spotifys, your Googles, whoever's, leave us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd be so grateful for that. While you're at it, don't forget to follow us on social. Instagram is weareauto_. Facebook is weareauto. YouTube is weareauto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks so much again for watching and listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.